Hi everyone, I am Yusuf. I am studying English language teaching in Osman Gazi University. I have made a presentation about radical behaviorism. So, welcome to my presentation. Today I am going to introduce you radical behaviorism. Then I will talk about classical conditioning. Afterwards I will focus on operant conditioning. At last, I will summarize my questions, and of course, I will handle the questions. My presentation will be about 5 minutes, so let's get started. What's radical behaviorism? Radical behaviorism is the school of thought pioneered by B.F. Skinner that argues that behavior rather than mental state should be the focus of study in psychology. Skinner's science of behavior emphasizes that importance of reinforcement and the relationships between observable stimuli and responses. Behaviors do not depend on thoughts, feelings, or other internal processes like this. Rather, they are natural events that occur as a result of other events in the environment. Benefits or consequences of a behavior either increase or decrease the probability of that behavior occurring in the future. Now let's talk about classical conditioning. In 1819, Russian psychologist named Ivan Pavlov did some famous experiments on dogs. He showed dogs some foods and rang the bell at the same time. After a while, the dogs would associate the bell with the food. They would learn that when they heard the bell, they would get fed. At last, just ringing the bell made the dogs salivate. They learned to expect food when they hear bell. You see, under the normal conditions, the sights and smell of food causes a dog to salivate. The food in here is an unconditioned stimulus, and this salivation is unconditioned response. When we pair an unconditioned stimulus with something that natural, like the sound of bell, that natural stimulus becomes a conditioned stimulus, and classical conditioning was discovered like this. Let's move on with operant conditioning. Operant conditioning explains how consequences lead to change in voluntary behavior. How does operant conditioning work? It's about reinforcement and punishment. These are main components. Reinforcements can be positive or negative. There's an example for you. After eating dinner with your family, after eating a meal with your family, you clear the table and you wash the dishes. After that, your mom gives you a hug and says thank you. In this situation, your mom's response is positive reinforcement if it makes you more likely to repeat the operant response. By operant response, I mean clearing the table and washing the dishes. Operant conditioning is everywhere in our daily lives. I think that's enough for this presentation. or it's going to be so long and it's going to be so boring. To summarize, we talked about what is radical behaviorism. After that, we talked about classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Is there any question? Thank you.